Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Abia State, Barrister Akpoti-Uduaghan. Let me thank the members of NEC who abandoned everything they should have been doing this beautiful Friday to be here. I want to thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for your commitment to our party. Interestingly, when the representative of the chairman of the DOT spoke and charged us to stand up for a minute recognition for Comrade Pascal Bafiayu, it reminded me of my relationship with the departed comrade. And I want the president of NLC to listen, because he was alleging that I was on the other side. Little did he know that in 1988, when I graduated from school, I met Comrade Pascal Bafiayu at the Nigerian Labour Congress headquarters then in Yaba, Lagos. Yes. And I was just a youth copper. Haven't finished my the orientation in Ondo State and transferred to Lagos. So I went to see my very good friend, Comrade Esaremu.
Okay.
And, oh, Deputy Speaker, you are here. Welcome, I didn't know you were here. Deputy Speaker, Abia State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Austin Okezie-Maragene. Thank you and welcome to Abuja. You know, we are all coming from the Far East. So when we see ourselves, we congratulate ourselves for making it to the urban Abuja. So, and then we started a long discussion. The Comrade Bafiayu and myself, we spoke for a very long time. And he insisted that I needed to come and serve in NLC. And actually, he gave me a letter that I should send to NLC. That's after a few days. Because I didn't have anything to do. So every morning I would resume at NLC headquarters, waiting for my redeployment. And he gave me a letter to NYSC to be posted to NLC as a research assistant. But as events will have it, I also got another letter from Citibank. That one I sat for the interview and passed it. And the way it went at that time, if you served in Citibank, first of all, you must meet a minimum standard. You must sit for the interview. You must pass it. You must go through the orals. And it was almost certain that after the youth service, you already had a job. And that's what happened. So I turned down NLC to go to Citibank.
where the Kado
And that is how I found myself in the bank. But even in the bank, I was protecting the interests of the NLC. Because I saw myself as part of labor.
Yeah.
So I wasn't on the other side. And I have never been. But you know, the way it is that you, just like Baba here told us, you know, the Babangida days, a little to the left, a little to the right. If you want to be on the far left, even Russia has left you. So let me once again state that the reason we are here is to ensure that our party is preserved. And whatever it costs, we must preserve our party. If the likes of Pascal Bafia and most other comrades made sacrifices to put this together, it will be very sad. It will be shameful if we cannot manage what was handed over to us.
Yeah.
And I would like us to humble ourselves and recognize that we cannot be bigger than the party. That you've set up a party, you've contributed to setting up the party will be bigger than you.
Of course.
And today, NLC started it. But I'm sure that majority of the people in the party today are not just NLC. In fact, they are bigger than NLC.
Yes.
And a good father always prays for his son
To be better.
than him.
Yes.
So anytime you want to see a father competing with his children,
That-
he has lost his direction. You want your children to do better than you. So NLC, thank you so much for forming the party, but this party is now bigger than NLC.
yeah.
And and I'm very grateful that you also came in person. That shows that you are interested in making this party what it should be. So today, it is in the spirit of the Supreme Court judgment that we got on the 4th of April 2025, which handed over the party to party owners and party members, which also recognized and actually admonished the respondents in that matter that they should be humble enough to respect the constitution of the party. And when their tenures were over, they should humbly step down and let the party run. Those were not my words, they were the words of the learned Supreme Court judges. Unfortunately, after that judgment, some people started giving different interpretations that we are not consistent with the spirit and the words of that judgment. At least we all understand English. But as law-abiding people, we thought we should follow the process. And today what we are here to do is to formally start the process of getting a new leadership for this party. And it's going to be done in an organized and structured manner, starting from the wards, through the local governments, to the states, to the zones, and ending with the national convention. That is a structured process. If you want to build a house, and it's a 3-story building, you don't start from the 3rd floor. You have to build the foundation, isn't it? That is how it is. So we have to build the foundation. Now, it is impossible for the surviving members of NEC, like you have been told, and there are only 9 of us, the statutory members, since the tenure of the last National Working Committee had since expired, as recognized by the Supreme Court. So, because all of us cannot jump into the fray, neither would it be the 9 statutory members of NEC that are seated here. So, the powers conferred on us gives us authority to set up an interim national working committee and that interim national working committee would have just a single job: manage this party until the convention, when a new leadership will emerge. A corollary to that single job is also to ensure the structured and orderly institutionalization of the leadership of the party from the ward level to that convention. So that's why we are here. And it gives me great pleasure to call our attention to our intervention on the 4th of September last year, 2024, where we all sat, including every member of NEC here, and then an enlarged stakeholders forum, including the former presidential candidate and his deputy, all the senators, all the House of Representative members, and all the House of Assembly members elected on the platform of the party. We all gathered in Umuahia and set up a national caretaker committee. Shortly after, the former chairman of the party, Barrister Julius Abure, went to court and got a judgment proclaiming him as the substantive chairman of the party. As law-abiding citizens, we asked the National Caretaker Committee to take a back seat while we prosecuted the matter in court. In fact, as a matter of fact, the National Caretaker Committee was successfully joined in the matter before the Federal High Court. When that judgment was given, not being satisfied, the National Caretaker Committee now proceeded on appeal. And the appeal went against them. They now went to Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court gave the judgment that I have just paraphrased. So, having gotten that judgment, we went straight to INEC, lodged the judgment with them, and asked for the recognition of the appellants, the Senators Darlington Wokocha and Esther Nenade Osman, National Secretary and National Chairman, respectively. If you remember, because they were the appellants and the Supreme Court agreed with them, the last sentence on page 48 of that judgment says appeal succeeds.
Meritorious.
Because it was meritorious. That's the last sentence there. So the appellants were, I've told you, Senator Darlington Wokocha and Esther Nenade Osman. But having got that judgment, we also wanted to follow process. So having informed INEC, we also noted that there were some things that were already on with the former national chairman of the party, including the Anambra governorship election, whose primaries were going to come up less than 1 week after that judgment. And we thought it was appropriate for us to let the process continue instead of getting into an argument that may make us not have a candidate for the party. So if you noticed, we allowed the primaries to go on. And that is why our leader was also there when the flag off of the campaign started in Anambra. But that's a story for another day. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me thank all of you for coming and believe that we will be successful in whatever we have come here to do. There are a few issues. One of them is actually the next item on the agenda. And with the permission of the BOT chairman, I would call for us to go into that next item now, which is the inauguration of the Interim National Working Committee.